I want you to know that the onus is on us. I'm not here trying to make excuses. The onus is on me. I take full responsibility for this. I'm literally putting the livelihood of 750 people on the line right now, and I take that with huge responsibility.
Only on 12 News, after the I-Team exposed that an online charter school had years of failing students while the owner was raking in millions, the man you just saw there. Tonight, that school is on the verge of shutting down.
The I-Team's Craig Harris first brought you this story last week, and today he was at that state charter board meeting when they took action. How did things go today, Craig?
Well, in a stunning decision, the state charter board took the first official step to shut down Primavera Online School. The decision could affect hundreds of teachers and employees and thousands of students. It also will put an end to founder Damian Creamer tapping into state tax dollars for at-risk kids to become a charter school millionaire. Creamer founded the online charter school giant in 2001. He asked the charter board for leniency, giving us a chance to hear from him for the first time in this reporting.
And I make no excuses for our mistakes, for letting this happen. We are here to explain to the board how this happened, what we've done and are doing to address it, and make sure that, most importantly, it never happens again.
However, Creamer blamed former administrators for getting Primavera into this situation, saying he took a leave of absence to care for his ailing wife. The board, which oversees hundreds of charter schools, noted Creamer acknowledged he's been in charge the last 3 years. That's when Primavera was given 3 consecutive D letter grades, the only charter school to perform that poorly. Those D grades and failing to meet the charter board's academic standards triggered Tuesday's meeting on whether to shut down the school.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today.
One parent asked the board to give Primavera another chance.
And I just want to share my story about why Primavera has been a life-changing option for our family. We got so much more than we thought we would get, not just the educational components, but the community.
And Creamer argued that Primavera should have been given alternative school status, which would have meant C's instead of D's. Board members and staff said Creamer could have applied for that distinction the past 3 years, but he did not do so. They also said the state has sent specialists to Primavera to help improve test scores.
This was not a decision that the board made lightly, as you could see, and so the facts that were shared with us led the board to make the decision.
Officially, the board's decision is only an intent to shut down Primavera because of the poor grades. Primavera can stay in business while it appeals. It also has legal remedies. A final vote from the board isn't expected for 2 to 3 months. The charter board has no authority in how Primavera spends its tax dollars and didn't press him on it, but I tried to ask.
Hey, Damian, Craig Harris with 12 News. I wanted to ask you what you did with the $24 million that you paid yourself in 2017 and 2018 in those early years that your school kids were failing.
The I-Team uncovered that since 2017, Creamer paid himself more than $10 million in dividends and another $13.5 million to Strongmind. That's the parent company of Primavera, and Creamer is the lone shareholder. State records show his wife Noelle and son Maxwell are directors of that company.
Can you tell us what you did with the tens of millions of dollars that you paid yourself?
The school shipped $54 million last year to Strongmind, but spent just over $12 million on teachers.
Can you answer questions of why so much money went to Strongmind?
Craig, right now I'm not going to answer any of your questions. I've made my public comments, so I'll see you after the meeting.
Creamer, his family, and Primavera staff left right after the vote and did not comment.
All right, so Craig, the big question is, do we know how many students this affects and what happens next?
Yeah, Creamer said there's anywhere between 18 to almost up to 20,000 kids that could be affected right now. Now, if Primavera does end up shutting down, there are other alternative charter schools that they could go to, or they could even go to district schools that have online programs, or they could even enroll back into a school. Now, one thing that Creamer said is that, when the kids come to his school, there's 6 schools. So he is providing a service that a lot of other schools don't provide, is what he told us.
All right, Craig, thanks.
Back to you.